Hello Derby people. Sorry for the delay. We were busy reffing another game. But I thought I'd bring a friend with me. I'm Beck and this would be my husband JR.
And good morning to everybody. What a cracker of a day so far. And there's plenty more action to go in this East Coast clash.
So this game we've got Bellas and TRV fighting it out. And unfortunately, I can't even see the scoreboard from here, which is a shame.
Looks like Starry Night 0-7 then jamming for the Bellas and with lead jammer status. Nicely done then from Knight on that previous pass, picking up 4 points. Can't quite see the scoreboard, so I can't give you an updated score. We'll get that sorted out as quick as we can. Starry Night again on the previous pass, picking up another 4 points for the Bellas. Slow moving pack then, not quite over the pivot line into turn at number 1. Team regional blockers doing a nice job just holding up Knight for a bit there, but not before Knight was able to get through and pick up 4 points. His jam underway. Not sure who the team regional jam is. It is 111 for the Bellas. It is 024. That's good. Yabari, I think is how he pronounced that. I don't have a team roster in front of me as yet. We're working on that, so
I might go for a walk, JR, and see if I can find some information for us.
So nicely done then from the Bellas on the previous pass, picking up 4 points. Pack then finds its way sort of in the midpoint of turns 1 and 2. Barry looking for some territory to the outside part of turn 2. Not quite going to work that time. Recycle back. And just the 2 blockers to go for the Bellas as the defense then comes in. Nicely done. And it's 4 more points. Barry has seen enough and seen that one in the books and calls it off. And we're going to have our first official review, I believe, called by Team Regional Victoria.
All right, while we're in an official review, I might go through the roster, which I have found. So, skating for TRV today, we have 088 Monk, 111 Ruthless Badger Ginsberg, 118 Kick, 131 The Mad Splatter, 191 Bella, 222 Jess, 34 Quiet Riot, 333 Fleabag, 444 Lucky, 555 Holy Roller, 56 Hurty Beetle, 777 22 Dangerous, 888 Erin, 999 Paralyzer. Skating for the Bellas in pink, we've got 024 Gogo Yubari, I think, I'm sorry if I've said that wrong, 07 Starry Night, 077 Turtle, 118 Kick, 201 Sensational, 41 Miss T, 5 Jam Solo, 8008 Princess Muscles, and 84 Whammy. Fantastic. And we have a scoreboard now upstairs behind us, which is excellent. So TRV are on 6 and the Bellas are on 104.
Yes, they are. So still under an official time out there, and because we're up here, it's a fair hike to get down trackside to find out what that was for. All I can say is watching Buster Hammy there with the hand signal suggests that maybe TRV were unsuccessful in their official review.
Coming out jamming for the Bellas is 201. Sensational.
Quite right, number 3, 4 jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Jam time says, let's go. So we'll get this jam underway, and just like that, 201. Getting on through the pack for the Bellas there, picking up lead. Jammers the pack now slowly coming through turns 1 and 2. Quite right, also getting through the pack. So for both jammers, it's all about points from here on in. Pack now coming through turn number 2, the recycle and the defensive efforts there from Team Bellas rather. Recycling Quite Right all the way back into turn number 1. Not ideal for Quite Right. Has to do it all again.
Fantastic footwork there on the inside line, just clearing the pack. Whammy there for the Bellas, doing some fantastic blocking.
So it's another 4 points then. Beck for Sensational. And the Bellas. Nice bit of defence there from 444. That's lucky. Guest skating this afternoon for Team Regional Victoria. Sensational, more than up for the challenge, and as easy as like just floats on through the inside part of turn 2.
Excellent hit out there by Jess, 222. And Jess and Lucky are actually both guest skating with TRV from Ballarat.
Of course, we've got teams from pretty much all over the country here this weekend. But we've got Western Australia. We have Queensland, of course, a lot of teams from here in Victoria. This is the East Coast Clash.
Current scores sitting at 10 for TRV and 132 for the Bellas. Ruthless Badger coming up against a strong triangle there. And a cut track penalty, unfortunately.
That's 07
for
Starry
Starry
Night.
Night.
So a visit to the penalty box then. And a good opportunity for Team Regional Victoria to get some points. Ruthless at Bader Ginsberg. The lone jammer on track, but the recycle back into turn number 1 means that all the hard work that was put in has to be done all over again.
We have a star pass there for TRV. So we now see Holy Roller as a recognised jammer for TRV. Unfortunately being hit out and dragged back there. And not sure of the penalty there that the TRV skater has just received. But Holy Roller to sit, unfortunately. Thus giving the Bellas a power jam start.
Big shout out to our non-skating officials. Beck, we have in this game Buster Hammy, Dunn, Tootin, Sparks, Stitch, The Beast, Aussie Bear, Hypodermic, Chaos, PMS, and Rogue. And we'll cover off the skating officials at the next break as we get this jam then underway.
Go jamming now for Bellas, getting through. Bellas have themselves a little goat there, which has meant that the TRV triangle unfortunately was down to 2 people, but we have a cut track on the Bellas jammer now. And we have a star pass for TRV. Kick is the recognised jammer, making their way through the pack nicely.
Oh,
beautifully done.
Looking for and using the outside part of the back straight away with a fair whack of speed. Nicely done from Kick on that previous pass. It's 4 more points for Team Regional Victoria. Just taken to the inside part of the main straightaway there for Kick. And straight away met solidly there.
That's a very strong looking triangle from this angle up here.
It is a very strong triangle. Kick with a fair bit of work to do. Meanwhile, all that was happening. Go released back onto the track. And wasting no time getting through the pack and trying to score some points. Just the 2 blockers in out front off of turn number 1. And it's 4 more points in for Go Yabari. As this one is done and dusted.
TRV now sitting on a total score of 23. Bellas 148. And according to the scoreboard, that would be half time.
That went quick, or we weren't here for that long. Either way.
I think it was about 7 jams in when we joined.
So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. in this game between Team Regional Victoria and the Bellas at halftime. It is TRV on 23 and the Bellas at 148. We are back. So we get the second half action underway. Jamming for Team Regional Victoria. It is 1-1-1. Ruthless Badger Ginsberg. And jamming for the Bellas, I think it is number 5, and it is indeed. And that would be Jam Solo. Wasting no time getting through. Lead jammer going the way of the Bellas. It's back now, slowly coming through turn number 1. Nicely done then from Jam Solo, using the inside part of turn number 2 to get through for 4 more points. As I welcome back my co-commentator and wife.
Ah, yes, I'm back.
Stationary pack then down on the far side of the track, or the back straight away. However which way you look at it, it's not bothering Solo too much. It's another 4 points then being added to the Bellas total. And they're marching along 164.23 as it stands at the moment.
And we have a star pass too, JR. Holy Roller is now the recognised jammer for TRV. Pushing their way through a bridged out pack and making their escape.
They've done well.
Derby's tough. Derby's hard.
Can be.
It's a lot of fun. Oh, no points though. 23 to 168 is what we're looking at now. And Kick coming out to jam for TRV with a friend, Starry Night, for the Bellas. Maniacal laughter from Kick. This could be interesting. False start there for 3-4, so skater with a false start just needs to yield, move to the back before they can then proceed to join in with the Derby fun. My goodness, Kick is definitely having fun, speaking of fun.
Nicely done from Kick too. Whammy on the recycle, going to the inside line to try and accentuate that cut track possibility, and Kick was more than a wait to that. Unfortunately for Kick, it's a bit of a tough old time on the main straightaway, only just forward, well, it was just forward of the jammer line. Now the recycle's back into turn number 3. And again, Whammy just putting on a bit of a blocking display here, and
Miss T joining in there and doing a nice job of holding her.
But all that's not phasing Starry Night too much. It's another 4-point scoring pass on that previous pass.
We have a star pass again. We've got... Ooh.
Looks like Monk, 088.
088, it was Monk, yes.
So the Battlers then move along to 180, Team Regional Victoria on 23. So 1-1-1. Ruthless Bader Ginsberg jamming for Team Regional Victoria. 201 sensational jamming for the Bellas. Lead jammer going the way of the Bellas. And nicely done from sensational there, just using the centre part of the far side of the track. It's 4 more points.
Oh, beautiful slam together there by the TRV. Triangle, those blockers coming together and just closing down on centre.
So we have a completed star pass before this one was brought to a grinding halt.
The end of that jam sees the Bellas with 200 points and TRV on 23 points. Did we give a shout out to the rest of the officials there, JR?
No, we haven't, so we probably should do that whilst we've got a bit of a stoppage. Of course, the rest of the crew that we need to acknowledge are those fine people in the middle with the black and white stripes. They are our referees. And for this game, we have Vector, Rikamortis, Miss Cray Cray, Corey, Disaster Chief, Psych, Mayhem, and I would say Executioner, but Exy's definitely not down there. Exy has been swapped out by another skater. I'm not quite sure of their name. But a big thank you to all the NSOs and all the refs that are here over the course of this weekend. It's going to be a massive weekend of roller derby. We haven't seen anything like this in Victoria for quite some time, so it's great to be back. Not just hosting a one-day event, but hosting a two-day event. And we say a warm welcome to all our interstate teams here this weekend.
And probably a big thank you and shout out to all the people that have contributed to bringing this event together today as
100%.
well.
So hopefully not too far away then from a resumption in this game. So not only are we experiencing a two-day roller derby event, Beck, it has to be said, the weather guides have firmly decided to give us the thumbs up and give us a nice warm 2 days. I think 25 and 26 respectively here in Melbourne, so quite a warm day. Certainly for us Victorians, we haven't experienced warm weather like this for a little bit. Just skating around with some of the other officials, and it's certainly noticeable that it is a beautiful warm day here in Melbourne town. So we're about set to get this going again.
I thought you were going to do a public service announcement to all skaters to remember to hydrate, actually. I thought that's where you were going.
No, that's not where I was going. But let's get this one going. No, Go Yubari jamming for the Bellas. And it looks like 444. That looks like a very familiar skater.
Oh, judging by the pink helmet that's hiding underneath, I'd say that's lucky having a jam.
It is indeed.
Of course, they give away the knee pads as well. Recycled back there.
So Lucky then trying to find some territory to the outside part of turn 2. Up
running
on the toe
down
start.
that outside line. Well
Nicely done.
Hot on the heels of Go-Go.
So for both jammers now, it is... I was going to say the initial pass is done. Unfortunately for Lucky.
Go-Go called it off just before.
Go-Go was all over it. And said, no, you are not going to score any points in this jam. So Quiet Riot and Starry Night, then the two jammers on at the jammer start line.
Bellas are now on 205 points and TRV is on 23 after that one.
The jam timer says, rightio, let's go. And that's exactly what Starry Night does, gets through nicely. Using the outside part of the main straight away through into turn number 1, and it's beautifully executed there by Starry Night.
And Turtle is just dragging Quiet Riot back all the way through turn 4. Quiet Riot making their way through the pack nicely.
There was a nice move to the outside part of turn 1 there for Riot. Saw a bit of a gap and thought, that'll do me. I will take that gap. Pack now coming through into turn number 2, Beck, and both teams have decided to slow things up and go all-out defence. Some very strong triangle work up the front there from the Bellas.
It never ceases to amaze me, JR, how very little space some jammers need to sneak through. As a blocker, you think, I've got it covered, and then the next minute you're like, no. Riot coming round again now, so 4 more points there on the board for the Bellas. Riot being dragged right back again.
Yeah, deep into turn number 1, almost from the about where Riot is now to be in the back straightaway and then taken out and recycled back into turn 1. As a jammer, you're probably thinking, I don't like this.
That's a bit sad.
It is.
Nice bit of offense there from Kick, knocking the Bellas pivot off track on the inside line.
A nice jam then from Starry Night and the Bellas. They move along nicely to 217 with Team Regional Victoria on 26.
My favourite number.
Yes.
Goodness me.
So Sienna Sational there wasting no time getting through the pack, and that was just ridiculous, just how quick and easy Sienna Sational found some space to the inside part to get lead jammer, and equally so to get the initial pass done and dusted. So for Sienna, it is all scoring points from here on in.
Lucky clear of the pack now and coming round.
Yeah, not to be outdone. Lucky did a good job getting through the pack. Was made to work for it though, has to be said. Met solidly there by the Bellas defence. Lucky's just trying to find some territory to the inside part and the outside part of turn 3 and 4. Nicely done. Lucky gets through, picks up 4 points. Sienna Sational also through with 4 points. As the pack now is coming into turn number 4. What are we seeing, Beck?
I'm seeing Muscles and Miss T working together nicely. A nice little pat on the back there for Lucky from Muscles from the opposite team there.
Yeah, it was a good job picking up some points there for Team Regional Victoria. Not sure how many. I'm going to say, well, 5 if they were on 28. They're now on 33.
(33 to 233) is our scores now. Kick jamming for TRV. Dancing backwards and forwards. Oh, so close to getting out there on that outside line. Unfortunately, was knocked down, and meanwhile, we have Solo for Bellas getting through first, therefore getting lead jammer.
Yeah, unfortunately for Kick, it was a cut track. So it is now it's a power jam now for the Bellas and Solos. The pack now coming down the opposite side of the track, or the back side of the track, however you like to refer to it. It's not bothering Solo too much. It's another 4 points being added to the Bellas total. Nicely done from Kick there, just up on the toe stop, Bex, using the inside line of the back straightaway. Nicely done. Nice hit there from Kick. Bella defenses are more than up for the challenge. As the pack now comes in past the commentary point here on turn number 4.
Kick making the most of all of the track there, backwards and forwards to bust apart that Bella's triangle. And we have backwards derby now. Excellent.
So that hit happened just on the midpoint of turn 4. The recycle is almost back into the back straightaway. So Kick will not be liking that at all. Vector has a very interesting whistle. I must look at this later on and find out what this thing is. It's a gadget, and it's pretty darn cool. Solo's seen enough though and has called it off.
That would be an electronic derby whistle, JR. And it actually has a little flashing laser green light on it as well.
Wow.
We have Starry Night lining up against Lucky again.
Nicely done then by Starry Night. Gets on through the pack and picks up lead jammer with that effort.
Lucky's got their work cut out for them at the moment, unfortunately being hit out and pulled back and hit out and dragged back.
Yeah,
but they are persevering beautifully.
The recycle then from Whammy on Lucky was back into turn number 4, so Lucky had to do it all over again. That's not phasing Starry Night too much. What's going on at the back of the pack, that is. Starry Night just getting through the pack and picking up points. And it's another 4 points then for the Bellas. As the pack now is happy enough just to stay into turn number 1. Nicely done then from Lucky.
That was a well-deserved breakthrough there. Now the fun thing with Derby is, JR, that Lucky gets to do it all again now.
Yep.
swap over in the penalty box. One Bellas player for another. And a penalty, unfortunately, for the Bellas, Gemma. And they will start from the penalty box for this next jam. With a friend, which is nice.
Well, that helps. So it looks like the Bellas have called a team timeout. Of course, the next time all these teams see each other in this sort of format will be in Adelaide next year. Of course, I'm referring to TGSS. I doubt that you'll see many of the teams as we are seeing them today. I think rosters will change from here on in, but certainly in a multi-day tournament. So it's probably a good idea to see what the opposition are doing, what to expect. But obviously there's a lot to be done and played out between now and the King's Birthday long weekend in June next year, where we will converge once again on the mighty city of Adelaide for the Great Southern Slam.
Invade it with our derbiness.
Rumour has it that, and this is pure rumour, who doesn't love a good chin wag? The rumour has it we are going back to the old 5-track format.
Oh, you and your gossip, JR, you love it.
I have people.
Monk has lined up to jam for TRV, and of course, everybody's up on the pivot line. Loving life on the pivot line. This is where strategy often plays out an important role.
Yeah, 100%. So Monk is trying to get some territory to the inside or outside part of the main straightaway. It's not really on offer. And the Bellas blockers were more than awake to that and shut that opportunity down. And whilst that was happening, the Bellas jammer has been released out of the penalty box and is now back out on track. Of course, I speak of number 07, Starry Night.
And sadly, a cut track penalty there for Monk. 088 heading to the bin for a cut track penalty. Very fancy footwork there from Starry Night around turn 3. And now we have the reverse. We have Sensational lining up to jam for the Bellas here. Zipping straight around that outside line and past the triangle. Monk's back on track now. And is through as well.
Just notice all these skaters are standing on the side of the track, so this must... Yep. I'm not going to say anything because...
Stranger things have happened.
Yep. Sensational, nicely done on the previous pass there, getting some territory to the inside part of turn number 3. And that's where we find the pack of skaters slowly coming through. Sienna Sensational wasn't slow coming through the pack. Nicely done on the previous pass. Unfortunately, though, for Monk, it is a... We do have a star pass.
Turtle saying, no, sorry, Lucky. You can't go through there.
So Lucky then's going to get taken all the way down, almost to the midpoint part of the back straightaway.
Dragged back again by Miss T this time.
So that jam then comes to an end.
So we'll wait for those final points to be added to the board, but it looks like we've got 43 for TRV and 315 to the Bellas. And that rolling whistle means it is the end.
It is the end.
But don't go anywhere because there'll be more Derby very, very quickly.
It will be. So thanks for your company, everybody, Derby fans both in the stadium and those that are watching at home.
And while you're waiting for the next game to start, you might like to check out some of the stalls that are happening in the front foyer. There's some pretty nice merch and goodies on sale.
And food and coffee. That's important. You said about rehydrating. Coffee is an essential part of that rehydration process. It's a process now, not a process.
Right,
See,
on that note, let's go and get some food.
We will indeed.